Hey y'all, it's Elizabeth from the blog elizabethsimkins.com, and today I'm doing kind of a not as usual video. I got into the habit of making videos to match my blog posts, which was fine to an extent. I found that those types of videos just aren't what I enjoy, and I've wrestled with this idea ever since I started this channel about what kind of content I would put out here. I have my blog that I've had longer than this channel, where it's old-fashioned, from scratch recipes, home decor, DIY, just simple living stuff, and I enjoyed writing about those things and sharing about recipes and all of that, how-tos, how we do things over there. But what I don't enjoy doing is doing it on YouTube. And so I started to think back to when I decided to start a channel, what my kind of idea with it was, what I had dreamed for it, what the goal for it was. And then I also started looking at the kinds of channels that I like to watch, because YouTube is something that I have always enjoyed watching. Other creators, and so I started thinking, what is it that I enjoy? What were the original intentions for this channel? And that was just to share all of it, boiled down to just what others are doing, just a community of this, idea of simple living, country living, and how that intertwines with everyday life. So with that said, I had some videos that I had gotten footage for, because I'm recording, what we do just around the farm, building our farmhouse, family life, cooking, all of that. And so I had that recorded. And I was going to be doing a video like this on exactly how we did it, updates, all of it. But instead, I think what I'm going to do is put it all together and just share with you lately what we have been up to pretty much in September. And this may be a couple videos, and then after this I'm kind of considering more of a I guess week in the life, maybe one video a week, just sharing all the things that we're doing. And so it still will show all of the same things that I was filming before. It's just going to take on a little different format. I'm not changing the content. I'm still DIYing furniture, and we're still building our farmhouse, and I'm still working on all of my recipes as usual, and home decor, the farm, all of it. We're still doing all of the same things. I just don't want to have separate videos for each thing that we do, and do it in such a way as like I do the blog. And so I kind of want them to be a little bit separate spaces. And so I think this is what's going to work best. I like to include things with Isla, my daughter. I like to show her, and she is involved in all of those things. But there are other things that we do that I also want to share just for myself. We've been working on a lot of projects, and another reason for this is I have just had so many projects going that I am completely overwhelmed. I am not a multitasker, and I am very much needing to do one thing at a time, whether it's chores or projects or just anything. I'm very much complete one entire task and then move on to the next, which maybe isn't super efficient, or maybe it is, but I'm more efficient that way. I get more done that way. I feel better, because what happens, and what has happened this month, is I take on too many things at once, and then they're all half done and spread out all over my house, and then none of them are done. I'm stressed out. I'm not getting videos put out. I'm not getting blog posts put out. And so we're gonna do one thing at a time, but from now on. But what you're gonna see in this video is we just had a ton of projects going. So like I said, my blog has a ton of my old-fashioned, from scratch recipes on it. And so I am always working to develop new recipes and update my old ones and keep that going. And what it is just what we're cooking. And so these are things that my family loves. how I've simplified it, how I make it work for our family. And so one of those things this week was I had written a post a long time ago when I first started the blog on sourdough pie crust, and it is one of my most popular recipes over on my blog. And so it needed updating. It's still not done. The pictures just weren't what they should be, and the writing wasn't how I want it, and I've just kind of, changed how I do things on the blog. And so I wanted to update it at least a little bit, and the pictures still aren't quite what I would like, but I remade that, and I think I ended up making a chicken pot pie for this. And so I filmed myself making it because I don't have a video that goes along with this, and my original point was to make a video to go with the blog posts, but everything just got out of hand. That's not my intention anymore. And so this is just what I was cooking for supper, for dinner. The pie crust is really simple. It's pretty straightforward. It's your basic pie crust recipe, all butter. You do your flour, your salt, and then you cut up your butter and cut it in. And then you actually add in your sourdough starter. That's the only difference at that point, is you add in your sourdough starter, and then you add in your water, your ice water, until it comes to the right consistency and kind of comes together. And then you just roll it out. My recipe on my blog makes 2 crusts, so if you only need one, you can freeze the other, or half the recipe, or some pies need 2 crusts, and it makes plenty. It makes a lot of pie crust because a lot of what I do is like a deep dish pie, and so it makes plenty. another fun project. And I've started this blog post, but it's not up yet, so I'll link it when it is. But I swear, my husband, my poor husband, he is so go with the flow, and I'm so thankful. God put him in my life because he knows that I am so chaotic and spur of the moment. For someone who researches so much, I research everything that we do before we do it, but for someone who researches so much and puts so much thought and planning into every little thing, when it comes down to actually executing the project, my dad and I were just laughing about this last night. My dad is very detail oriented and my mom is not. My mom is just go, 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 get it done. And my dad is like, step back, think about it, think it through, plan it out. And I am like the perfect mix of the two. I will overthink it until we actually start the project. I overthink, I plan, I research. And then when it comes to actually doing it, I am like a tornado. I just, whatever. All the research goes out the window sometimes. And that is what happened with this project. So we started our orchard. I've been wanting to do this since we moved up here a year or year and a half or however long ago. And the fruit trees are expensive and they weren't high on the priority list, even though they take so long to get started and before you see any fruit. And so we finally did it. I don't know why all of a sudden I thought I needed to add fruit trees onto the farm, but that's the next project. That's what we did. And so really it was pretty simple. It wasn't anything major. I talk about this in the blog post. I've started writing it, I just haven't. It needs final touches on it. But we just added 4 apple trees. We've got Red Delicious and Golden Delicious apples that I just on a whim, we stopped at Lowe's and bought, and actually had to go back again to get 2 more, so we ended up with 4. But on a whim, we added in our orchard, and we used the auger to dig the holes, auger on the back of the tractor, and then I dug them out with the shovel the rest of the way, planted them, and now we have our buckets with little holes that I fill up every night to water them, and in a very long time we will start having apples on the property. We might end up getting some like semi-dwarf or dwarf trees also, so that we have a little bit of faster harvest, because I did go with standard trees just because that's what they had at my local Lowe's. And like I said, all of my planning went out the window. We were going to do semi-dwarfs. I was going to order them online. We ended up with standard trees from Lowe's. I'm not sure that's the best. I may regret it, but this is what we do. We try things and then we figure it out. So that was our next project. I'm very excited. I love where they're at, even though our soil is so rocky, it was hard to get them in there. I love where they're at, and it is just going to be really nice having our own apples. I kept seeing everybody talking about their apple trees now that fall is kind of coming, and I was like, we have got to get some of these going because these are going to take years before we actually get any apples. And so we got them in, and I am babying those suckers, so hopefully they will survive. Keep it in the wheelbarrow. course, a week would not be complete without work on our farmhouse. Now, some weeks we get a lot done and we are just go, go, go. And then some weeks it's like we can't get the right tools down there, or it rains, or it's too hot, or we have other things happening. So some weeks we don't do as much, but it seems like every week we are down there working on it, which is good because we need to get it done. But on the blog, I shared a farmhouse update. I actually shared it yesterday, so it's up. And yesterday, as in today, is Tuesday, so it was up Monday on the 19th. And sharing kind of the last main step that we're at, and we've kind of moved past that at this point, but this kind of shows you where we are at. And so we do lots of work on the farmhouse. So last thing that we did was we completed the foundation and the decking, and I wrote a whole post on how we did it. And it's not necessarily a how-to, because I'm not going to tell you how to frame a house or how to build a foundation. It's just, there's so many opinions on this, and honestly, I'm just not going to get into it because there's so many opinions that what I'll end up with is people telling me exactly how we did it wrong. And we have the experience on our team, not Keith and I, but our parents, to know how to build in a way that is structurally sound. And honestly, I'm not someone who needs to be telling you how to frame a house. So, I shared how we did it, but not in a way that is, here's how you should do it. And so I will link that update below if you're interested in that. I know I kind of have a ton of different topics that I talk about, and so piece it here and there on what people are interested in. But we finally got our decking done, and it's so exciting. We basically have a stage and we're ready to start framing, and it is just really, really exciting. It feels like it's starting to come along. We're starting to actually see the changes that are happening. There for a long time, it was just we would work and work and work, and there wouldn't be anything to show for it because it was all hidden stuff. It was electrical, getting our temporary pole, which we did, or it had to do with perk testing or cutting down trees, which you could see that, but that wasn't the actual house. And so now we're getting to the changes in the actual structure, and it's really, really exciting.
Show me, Bug.
Show Mama your gloves.
Can you show Mama your gloves? Wow.
Like lobster claws. The thing is here. Is that where you want it? Or do you want it lined up with this? Because these screws are here.
Yeah,
Where that line is?
just where the nails are inside.
Right here.
Now, one thing that we love to do is go to local farms. We have a couple around us. In the past, like, couple of months, I think we've been to 3 or 4 different ones. I'm just so interested in, one thing I want to do is open some form of maybe a U-Pick or grower farm where we can actually sell some of the food we produce. I would love to have a little farm shop, and so I love to visit people who are kind of doing that. So, and also just, you know, reap the harvest that they have. And so we've gone strawberry picking. I actually have a video similar to this on when we went to do that. And then we went to a flower farm, which is actually a relative of the farm, the gal at the strawberry patch, and it's right next door, and she has a U-Pick flower farm. So we went to check that out, and it was a lot of fun. She just had sunflowers and zinnias and things that I didn't even know the names of, which I'm no flower expert, but she just had so many flowers to choose from. And of course, Isla's favorite thing was just playing in the water fountain. She had a water fountain. She has all these little tables and benches and a water fountain and different areas you can take photos, and it's just meant to be pretty. And so she has those everywhere. And so Isla played in the water fountain the whole time instead of helping me pick flowers. So, but they also have goats and chickens that they let us feed, and it's just a small little family business, but it's so fun. I love to go and see how they run it, how they have it set up. Of course, we love to have the strawberries or the flowers or whatever it is that they have, that they offer. But it's just really fun. It's something that Isla and I love to go do. We usually do it, you know, her daddy works, so my husband, he works full time, and so he's not home during the day, and usually they're only open during the week. So it's something Isla and I go and do together, and it's just really fun. It gets us out of the house, supports local farmers, and we have something we can bring home that's just fun, whether it's flowers or strawberries, pumpkins, whatever. So that was another thing we've done.
You want some more of these? Do you like these? Let's see. Oh, can you pick that one up? You pick that one up? Do you see it right here? Nope, right here. Can you put it in the jar? Right here?
Thank you so much for watching. And if you are new here, while there might be some changes to the channel, I'm sticking around. I'm still going to be hopefully producing a video a week. I'm over on my blog probably more regularly than here on YouTube. And that's kind of where you see more, like I said, of the how-to, what we're doing, how we're doing it, in a different format. And so it's a little bit more polished, hopefully, than these type of videos. But these are my favorite videos to make, where I just take a camera around whatever we're doing, we just film it and then I share it. I don't know that they will all be exactly like this, where I come back later and talk about what we did, or if it'll be more vlog style, I don't know. But these are the types of videos that I enjoy making and sharing. I will link all the blog posts that I mentioned in the video below. If you enjoy, please subscribe. No matter what, I'm going to be sharing from scratch food, our country home, and a simple lifestyle here and on the blog. It just may be in different formats. Thank you for stopping by.